Kanthi Hettigoda, a great woman, mother, entrepreneur, and most interesting of all, military psychologist. And so much of her journey has been inspiring for many women out there.
So why not you try? So sometimes you pursue this might not work, but you can try. If it work, yes, good. If it is not, it's just wasting a word or trying something.
Do you think for people to build resilience, they have to have faced some sort of adversity in their life?
Definitely. So resilience, some people would say it's a trait, some people would say you can learn resilience, but whatever it is, you should have resilience to be actually bounce back from adversities and to cope with the adversities. That is one of the main characteristics or whatever trait or strength a person should have to go through adversities. That would help you to come back, bounce back and find yourself again.
Hi,
Hi.
this is Zara and Rushma here again on our 7th episode of the Founders Podcast. And today we have a very interesting and inspiring woman, Kanthi Hettigoda, a great woman, mother, entrepreneur, and most interesting of all, military psychologist. And so much of her journey has been inspiring for many women out there. A brief introduction about herself before we begin. Kanthi is the president of the SriLanka Psychology Association. She was previously a military psychologist in the Navy, and she got here through a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology at the University of Peradeniya. Then went on to do a master's in clinical psychology at Colombo University, and she won the Commonwealth Scholarship to do her PhD at the University of Hull in the UK, which I believe she says was one of the most joyous moments in her life. So before we start off, Kanthi, I want to also mention that she is also Rushma's mentor and beloved friend, and has a very interesting story to tell us. Before we start off and how you got to this place, can you give us a brief introduction about yourself, and please start with your childhood, because I know there is a very interesting story there for our audiences. Tell us a bit about how you got here and what was your childhood like.
So thank you so much, Sarah and Rushma. Yes, my journey is a very long journey with a lot of like bends and hills and downs and so many things. So I was born in Gaul, a village called Udugama, 21 miles away from central Gaul. And I am the youngest of 6 siblings in my family. So born to a parent who have not been educated and who has never been to school. Both my parents are illiterate, they don't know how to write or read. They haven't been to formal schooling, never. So I attended to a small school near to my home for until grade 7. Then I joined Telambura Dutugamnu Mahavidyalaya, another school like middle level school, mixed school in Gaul district. So from grade 7 to up until my A levels, I attended to that school. I got through my O levels from that school. Then I continued to my A levels from the same school. It's a small school, but the education was really well and teachers were really lovely, and I was the head prefect and I had lots of good things in my school. Still I feel very proud of being part of that school, and they are also proud of me. I am also proud of them. And then I passed my A levels and attended to University of Peradeniya, but I was not a very like, I am studious but I never like studied very hard like anybody else, like doing studying. I did lots of extracurricular activities and had like a life full of functions and full of happening and everything. And then I entered to Peradeniya. Initially, actually, my plan was to become a lawyer, because my teacher said you would rather become a lawyer because you have all the characteristics to become a good lawyer. So I picked my subjects for A-level also, thinking that I want to be a lawyer. Actually, I got very good results also to go to a law college. But by the time between my A levels and I get the entrance to the university, I realized law is not something for me. I would not happy as a lawyer because I saw myself as more humanistic oriented, and I didn't know what would be the fit for me, but I knew that becoming a lawyer is not something for me. However, by the time I realized, like when I come to apply for the university, I saw this psychology subject in Peradeniya book, the UGC book, and I thought, oh, this is my profession. I'm going to do psychology, and whatever the subject, I felt there's something for me in this subject. So I went to Peradeniya and started my first degree in Peradeniya and selected for psychology special degree and passed out with like second class upper division. Even in the university, if you ask, like I was not that studious. I was doing so many things like drama and everything, and enjoyed the life and had like very good chat with my friends. And but somehow ultimately I got the best results. Not the best one, but the second best. The best person was selected to the university, but she unfortunately committed suicide after 2 months of being a lecturer. So I got the chance to join the university as the second best. So I started my journey there as a temporary lecturer to the same department which I learned. I had a small like dream to become a lecturer in my back of my mind, even though I didn't work that hard.
Yeah.
So then I became a temporary lecturer, and I need to mention something. So you introduced me as a military psychologist. Then I didn't have any idea to become like military psychologist, but I was very interested to know about military. So I selected PTSD symptoms of military personnel as my first degree thesis topic. And
Why is that, Kanthi? Was there any background, or like did you have any connection to someone who was in the military, or nothing?
nothing, but I was little bit like impacted by the war psychologically because I didn't like it. Sometimes I was thinking, oh my god, the army and the Sri Lanka military, I should take their side, but sometimes I used to take the LTD side. Like, I was wondering which party is right and wrong, but ultimately I thought I want to study this more, and I picked this topic, and everybody told me not to do that. It was so hard to collect information and gather the data as an undergraduate and getting the
Yeah.
permission from it was a peak of war, getting the permission from like MOD, and it was too hectic, but I didn't give up. So I somehow completed my thesis collecting data from military people who have been in the warfare, actual warfare, and got impacted in the battlefront. So
Which years were these?
this was in 2000, like it's in the
2000.
1999 and
So
2000.
that was closer to the peace talks time also, right?
Yeah, just before that. So it was the peak, actually, peak of the war. Then I joined as a temporary lecturer. Then I was looking for like a master's or any other postgraduate studies in Sri Lanka in psychology. Unfortunately, we didn't have any opportunity to do postgraduate in psychology in Sri Lanka. There was nothing. So I thought, without wasting time, I joined PGIA, Postgraduate Institute of Agriculture, Peradeniya, to do masters in organizational management. They offered it for
MSc. She's
yeah,
done so many masters.
So very different.
2 masters. Yeah.
2 masters and a doctorate.
Yeah, so this particular degree, MSc in organizational management, was actually offered for the first time. So I have done so many things for the first time in Sri Lanka. So they offered this for the first time, and I acquired it. So they offered this MSc in organizational management. Then I wanted to do it, and they were happy to take people from art faculty also. Then I followed it, fortunately. So I performed really, really well in that. It was about organization and organization behavior and all those things. And I had GPA 3.96 or something. I did really well. They were so impressed to have an arts faculty student who had done Sinhala medium studies. I did my first degree in Sinhala, and I did my first masters with very good colors, and they were really happy. Then I worked there at the department for 2.5 years as a temporary lecturer. And then we didn't have opportunity to join the permanent position because there were no cadres in the department. Then meantime I came to do visiting lectures Sri Lanka Foundation in Colombo. I did some lectures for their council and diplomas. They wanted to have me as their permanent member because they were impressed by my teaching. So I got an opportunity to apply for their permanent card and I got selected. In 2003 I joined with Sri Lanka Foundation Institute as a lecturer in psychology, and I continued to work there and teaching in psychology and counseling and coordinating programs and all those things. So when I have been working, like it was like 5 years into my job, no, actually 8 years into my job. So I wanted to do something more, but I was looking around. I didn't have money to go abroad and do any masters. Then for the first time in Sri Lanka, they introduced clinical psychology MPhil from Colombo University, and yeah, first for Sri Lanka also.
Yeah.
So then I decided, yeah, I would do clinical psychology. I didn't have money. I decided somehow I will find money, and I had to. It is a full-time degree. You have to come out from the job and do it. Somehow I convinced SLFI, if they give me half salary, I will work few days per week and I can do the degree. So they allowed me. So I was on leave half of the week and I worked over the weekend for the SLFI and I got half salary throughout that period and completed
Wow.
my
I don't know how you did that.
But this is not the
It
first
was
time,
really
right? From what I understood,
yes.
even in school you used to do a bit of business to fund your
For education and your tuition classes,
Yeah,
right?
I didn't tell you. Yeah, so I think we were from a very periphery and economically deprived background. So I had to earn my own money for tuition fees and everything. We used to pluck teas during our holidays and weekdays, weekends to earn some money to support my own tuition and even like our household things and all those things we earn money. So I have worked as a laborer since my childhood.
Wow.
Yeah.
Up
How
until
old
my,
were you?
sorry?
How old were you then?
I think since 12, 13 we started like working with our neighbors and they paid very minimal wages, but still that helped us to like buy some stationaries and all those things. And then even after A levels I continued to do the same thing until I entered to the university because I wanted to learn English because I was not coming from an English background. None of my family members even utter an English word. So without English I can't do anything. So I learned English after my A level until we had the long waiting time to enter university, more than 2.5 years. So we learned English. So I did O-level English literature also during that time and got a good credit pass for that as well. Then after this thing, so I did clinical psychology and with the half salary, a lot of financial issues, but still I thought I better continue it. Then I completed my MPhil in 2010. I forgot to tell you when I was at Peradini, I got my daughter, right? Not at
Wow, you got
Peradini, Sri Lanka Foundation 2005, and it was a trauma. I think Rushma can remember the trauma I went because of that. It was a real trauma, her birth, and it was a miracle. Now she is very like healthy young lady, but it was a miracle. Doctors only gave 5% of life expectancy on her because she was crushed inside the womb and they vacuumed and took the baby out just to save my life. And she developed fits for continuously and she was sedated for 5 days to just to protect her life, sedated to
Reduce the
continuously
inflammation.
5 days to settle
my
the
God.
fits. And she was in ICU and I was in the hospital for entire 1 month after delivery because of this thing. They did lung puncture for her and so many things, and it was a real trauma for me. And somehow she was okay after 1 month, and doctors predicted a lot of cognitive impairment from her because her brain was crushed and there were like bifrontal atrophy, and they said the child would not be cognitively stable, but they couldn't predict anything about her. They said find a house near to hospital, she can develop fits at any moment and you need to be alert and all those things. But miraculously
She's doing degree in psych now.
She's doing a degree in psychology.
Yeah. So yeah, knowing the consequence of brain damages, I was so shocked. But still, miraculously, she was okay, and she didn't have any issue. After that, she started speaking after 5-6 months. It was very miracle, and she did all the other activities well in advance compared to her same age people, and she was all
Talking at
Thank
5 months is like,
5 to 6
yeah, like, yes,
It's
6 months is
very
like
advanced.
really advanced.
Very advanced, I would say. She got her first teeth when she was 3 months.
Wow.
One teeth for 3 months, then she get the second one after 9 months, I think. So somehow that journey was like very difficult, but she was all right. Then I completed this thing, and when I was in, now I am a clinical psychologist officially, but I didn't want to get the license from the SLMC because they give this paramedical assistant. So I delayed
It's
it
still the
because
same.
yeah, it's still the same. So I delayed it because I didn't want to. Then I didn't want to practice. I was an academic. It doesn't matter for me to have the license or not. But always like wanted to do some service with my MPhil clinical psychology. So I was looking for opportunities. So Sri Lanka Navy, for the first time in the history, again opened this card called clinical psychologist for Sri Lanka Navy. So I applied, and surprisingly I got selected among other males and everybody. I was selected.
Oh, so there was no gender, like it was both open for men and women, and
But
they
yeah,
chose you over all the other men.
yes. So I still can remember the Navy commander then said, I was really impressed by your talk and the way you talk and the confidence you have. So they selected me. So I completed Navy training with another 8 colleagues, actually 7 counseling officers. And I was a clinical psychologist, and I was selected for lieutenant commander rank. Initially they were planning
Quite
to,
high.
yeah, commander, but later then said because I delayed my medical council registration, they need 3 years of experience after registration. But as I delayed it, my registration was quite new, so they didn't give me the commander rank. They give me lieutenant commander. I was okay with that because I know the time can pass and all those things. So I took the opportunity, and it was a huge challenge to complete 3 months military training. Maybe
Tell us more.
Tell us, because I read that at 40 years, you were around 40 at that time,
yes,
you
yes,
went for military training, three
yes.
months intense military training. How was that?
That was actually, I would say, when I look back, I'm really, really glad that I could do it. I never regret being like doing that course, but I had actually chance complete it individually, like 2-3 weeks Valley Surrey. And they said you can do an individual training as a lieutenant commander. You don't have to go for all the training for 3 months, but I can do individual training at Valley Surrey for 3 to 4 weeks or something. But there was another option to have a complete training with other colleagues in Trincomalee. If I'm going to serve for military, I should have the proper training, otherwise I won't able to survive in military. So I decided to go to Navy Maritime and Naval Command this academy. So 1 week and 2 days to into training, I developed dengue. I got dengue, severe attack, right,
No.
during the training. So I was my platelets went really down, and they were very afraid. From Navy Hospital to Trincomalee Hospital, they transferred me, and I was terrified, and it was almost near death experience, I would say. So I was hospitalized for 1 week. Then I was given 5 days sick leave. They actually didn't expect me to come back and resume the training. They knew that I was diabetic actually. Even then I was diabetic. After my daughter's birth, I developed diabetes because of the trauma I went through. I developed diabetic. So it was stress-induced diabetic. So I was having medication and everything by then. So somehow I get this dengue, and they thought I would not come back and resume the work at Navy, or at least not to complete the training. I might go for another easy way out. But I went back to Trincomalee and completed my Navy training for 3 months.
So how long after did you go back? 2 weeks after?
1 week in hospital, 5 days sick leave, right? 12 days.
Yeah, 5 days sick leave, and then I went back. So then I was so thin and weak, and I couldn't do anything, but still I wanted to do the training. The doctors warned me not to do any hard work or anything because I'm supposed to like have very good break, but you know, military training is it's full day from 5 morning to 12 midnight. You have a fixed schedule, no break in between, nothing. Somehow I determined no, I would do it, and I didn't have to run like other people, but I had to walk like running. So because I could meet the
Power
time,
walking.
power. So somehow I completed, and as I am the senior most, the tradition of militaries, I have to command the passing out parade and everything, senior most. They asked, would you like to do it or would you like to give it to somebody else, because I need to do a lot of practice and all those. And I said, no, I would do it because I like marching and skirting and everything. So I command my group, platoon, and passed out with that. They said I set history in military, being a 40-year-old woman, completing this thing and doing everything without complaining and all those things. And my team also stayed with me because of when I was very weak, and they can't be weak no anyway. So they said,
Yes.
the senior
There's no
people,
excuse.
yeah, they said just because of you, your other younger colleagues were in the training without complaining because they can't complain when you are not complaining. But
Oh
some,
yeah, 40 dengue back to training. So can't complain actually.
yes.
The youth.
So then I completed it, and I resumed work. I actually started working at Navy General Hospital as the clinical psychologist. Then I had my back in mind since my childhood. I want to do a PhD in a Western country. So it was a dream inside my brain since my childhood. Then I saw this Commonwealth scholarship opportunity. Again, for the first time in the history, a military person get a Commonwealth scholarship. Usually, Commonwealth scholarships are given to people who have been working in like academia. That is the tradition and nature. But somehow I applied. I had a very good plan for my research, and they were impressed. The Sri Lankan interview was conducted by Higher Education Ministry, and they were impressed, and I got shortlisted. The hardest part was from there because you have to apply for commission, and it was a very like long process and very tedious process. So I completed it. So actually I omitted one part, but later I will say, because before I entered to the university, I worked at a NGO at Akkarepattu in a war affected area where I was got caught to LTT and
Yeah, you missed a big part there.
yes. Before I entered to the university as a temporary lecturer, I wanted to work in, actually I always wanted to work for war affected areas. So I went for a NGO work, and there we worked for IDPs and other impacted community at Akkarepattu, and there I had this opportunity to be caught by LTT for few hours and kept under their custody for few hours, questioned and all, and then we were released in the middle of jungle in Portugal. So that was one experience. There I learned some Tamil, and I can manage certain level of Tamil even now because I learned some Tamil there. So it's something happened in between. So right, okay. So I applied for Commonwealth and I got selected for PhD. Only 2 people from Sri Lanka got selected. So I went to UK for my PhD, and as I was part of military, I wanted to do something related to military. So I picked my topic to is like develop a screening tool for military recruitment, and I completed it with 960 sample of Triforces Sri Lanka. I developed a tool to assess their pre-enlistment risk factors as well as resilience factors, and that tool we call resilience inventory for military. So I developed it with a follow-up study, validating study and predictability study. So establish the predictability and the validity of the study. So that was my PhD project. I enjoyed my life in UK to the fullest. Traveled a lot and doing some part-time job. We earned some money and used to travel around the countries, and not the very tourist attract countries, but to countries where my friends were coming from, like Poland and Bulgaria, and very beautiful countries. So somehow in 2018, January 1st, we came back to Sri Lanka after completing the PhD. And it was the very like within the time period. I didn't even extend any time, so I just want to finish my PhD. Everybody said, why don't you stay back in UK, you have the opportunity to stay. I said no. I was selected as like uh, one out of two from Sri Lanka with the full scholarship. I should go back and serve my country, so I came back and resumed work at Navy Hospital. Then after some time, I was asked to go to Trincomalee to serve. I don't know the reason even until yet today why they wanted me to go to Trincomalee. There was no logic. There was no like reason behind it. So I said no, I can't go to Trincomalee, but I can travel every week to Trincomalee, but not to base in Trincomalee because my daughter was very young. I couldn't like keep her alone. So I decided no, I'm not going. Then Navy commander was very good and he told, no, you don't have to rush yourself to this thing and you go to KDU and do a better job for the wider community. So I came to KDU as part of Navy, deployed to KDU hospital and the medical faculty and other faculties. I did lectures and I did clinical work at the hospital, which I enjoyed a lot. Reaching the community and working for community. So I was there until 2022. Then I decided in Navy I don't have any career progress. Still I was Lieutenant Commander even after 8 years. I saw no, there is no future for me. I reached the maximum number of years for a women cadre, so I had to like put into the reserve cadre where there is no promotion or anything. Then I decided.
What is this maximum number of years for women cadres? Like what?
So because after 45, you can't stay in military if you are a regular Navy officer. So I was a regular Navy female officer. They have this rule that after 45, you have to retire. So when they recruited me, they didn't forecast this, they didn't foresee this, and I was for almost 40 years, and they recruited me for the cadre which was regular, but they didn't have any plan for me, so I decided to resign and join academia again. So that's how I came to Peradeniya, where I was like groomed and where I was like developed myself. So 2022 May, I joined Peradeniya as a as a senior lecturer, and I do like clinical practice and all those things even now. To teach clinical psychology module and to military psychology module because they decided our academic institution need people who practice and teach. So I have the clinical background, I am practicing, so I can bring that knowledge to my classroom and I can take the classroom and theoretical knowledge to my practice. And military also, I had almost 10 years experience, so they decided I am the best person to teach military psychology as a person who had been in them. So I am teaching other modules as well, but these are the two major modules I am teaching right now at Peradeniya.
I just want to say that, like, just listening to your story, it seems like you've always been attracted to doing something hard. Like everything, you like challenges in life.
Exactly,
and you want to be the first in everything, and you choose the hardest thing to do actually, even in that. Even now,
She commutes from Ragama to Kanthi every day.
Almost every day.
Almost every day.
wow. Like there is no easy way for you. You don't want an easy life. What motivates you to do that? Like where do you find the strength, and why do you like challenges so much?
And during this process, can you also answer like what were the things you learned about yourself that were good, bad, or even ugly?
Doing between
all this, listening to your story, everything.
I think I wouldn't say anything ugly because I perceive the world as positive, and psychologically speaking, I have identified, when I reflect myself, I am a person who has internal locus of control. So I always believed if I want to change something, I have the capacity, and I always think I can change the things even in the world if I work hard. So I had this internal locus of control. Because of that, I believed in myself. I wanted to do certain things and I don't feel tired. If I am doing something I really like, so I don't feel tired. So I am committed for that. And I think commitment is one of the major characteristics I have. because of that, the confidence and like commitment will like usually bring you the competence and other things as well. So I think that was the reason. When I think about the bad thing about Navy and all those things, actually I wouldn't say anything bad. I really enjoyed the process, but having no like progress in my career was a bad experience. But I don't think that 9.5 years I spent in Navy is a waste. I never think that those experience gave me a lot of values, but there was no career progress in my life during that time. But somehow I did my PhD during that time. I have to be grateful giving me leave for that. It was no pay leave. Usually in military or anywhere government they used to give paid leave, but I got no paid leave because I didn't want to burden to country, because I got the one of the best scholarship in the world. So they provided me everything. I didn't want the money from Sri Lanka, so I just survived with the scholarship and I earned a little bit from like my part-time jobs in UK. So the good things like I think if you perceive the world as like in this perspective, like internal locus of control, there's nothing can stop you. So that
For non-psychologists here, what is this internal locus of control like? Can you explain?
So it is, Zara, so it's the way you look at the world. We call like some people think whatever happens to me determined by external factors like destiny or the fate or other people will decide your life. Internal locus of control means you think the control is within you. If you work hard, if you determine, if you plan, you can achieve certain things. So there are some people, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, sorry.
No, there are some people who set their locus of control externally. They believe others decide what happened to me. There are people who keep the control within themselves, who believe that I can do certain things. Not to control the world, but having certain level of control of whatever happens to you, at least.
And
right?
would you say that is what motivates you? Like what was motivating you to go for all these opportunities, these first things, these first...
I think it's my like desire to achieve high, and I don't think it's not the position. I always wanted to do something for the mankind, a better thing which is not available, which a person wouldn't think that they would do. So I would want, like, always wanted to like do something better. So going up and do something better. And usually I know a lot of people would say no to those things because those are difficult for them. Thought no, I can take the hardship of that, so why don't I try? I think the ulterior motivate is to help the mankind.
So was this from your childhood? Like, how did you come to think like this? Like, how do people, if they are to learn from you, like, is it something they get from their family, or is it something you develop on your own? Like, how do you get it?
I would say I don't know my family because, as I said, my family background, none of them have like that. But I know I have good genes. Hopefully I have very good genes from my parents. Even my father, he hasn't been to school, but he is very intellectual in his own way. So I think that could be, mainly I think it's dispositional factor in me, the personality traits I have as a person, and the adversities I went through as a child. And at the same time, I'm a person who sees something, I convert something negative into positive, because I went to a school, there were no teachers. So we were supposed to teach the younger people. We didn't have halls. We happened to like build the temporary shelters for ourselves to have the school classes and all. So we didn't have any opportunities. We didn't have any sports equipment or anything in our school. So we struggled with everything, with scarcity of the resources. I think that external factors plus my dispositional factors blend really well, and I took some would say it's a challenge, but as a threat I would take it as a challenge or opportunity and wanted to overcome it. I think I got a lot of opportunities because there were lack of resources, so we had to try out new things by our own selves. So, and I would say I learned from the society and my personality both. So we had certain colleagues from the same background always complain, we don't have teachers, we don't have facilities, so how we can proceed.
Yeah.
I am a person who would say, like, yes, we don't have teachers, we don't have facilities, therefore we have to work hard. So I was in that.
So, do you think, I mean, you did your PhD on building, on resilience, predictability, right? If I'm not mistaken, like how to predict resilience in
for like when you're
recruiting. Do you think for people to build resilience, they have to have faced some sort of adversity in their life?
Definitely. So resilience, some people would say it's a trait, some people would say you can learn resilience, but whatever it is, you should have resilience to be actually bounce back from adversities and to cope with the adversities. That is one of the main characteristics or whatever trait or strength a person should have to go through adversities. That would help you to come back, bounce back, and find yourself again and go forward. Yes, resilience is one of the main things.
But you need adversity to build the resilience.
Yeah. So it says in resilience theories, you don't know whether you are resilient or not until you meet an adversity.
Until you're tested.
You don't know. Yeah, you don't know, but you have to be tested for that with life circumstances. So some people can be resilient by birth, some people can be resilient because they have gone through a lot and bounce back and then learn from those experiences.
You know,
right.
See, with all of these experiences that you have gone through and all these evolutions of you, like how did the concept of self-care ever exist for you? Did it have different versions during these different stages of your life? Because now I talk about resilience, and in order to cultivate and to bounce back, we talk about having a self-care routine or something. What was that like for you, and what did that concept look like for you?
You mean self-care?
Like to keep you going at least, sometimes like I think you need a break. When it's hard, at least you need a little bit of a space to take a break, to recover, to face the next day again. How did you find that?
I think for me, I need a break, but even a very short little break, I will refresh myself. I think I love what I do also, right? So so I have to travel from like Kanthi to Colombo to Kanthi, so I have 2.5 hours of time while I am traveling. So I consider it as a break because I can do whatever I want. I can sleep, I can read, I can watch a teledrama, I can listen to music, or if I want to do some meditation, even I use that time as a break. So otherwise I don't have any break, but at the moment I come home, I have to cook, and even at 10:30 or 11 o'clock night I will clean the house and do stuff and sleep, and we wake up 4:30, and by 8 o'clock I am back in Peradeniya sometimes. Some might see me 8 o'clock at night, Peradeniya, and 8 o'clock in the morning again in Peradeniya. So in between I had been in Colombo. So something like that. So I think it's again like your self-reliance, and I believe in myself. I think I can do things, because even though I have some physical issues or things, it's how you interpret it. I think when you see that you can do things, the nature will support you, your body will support you. So I would not complain about travel. After traveling, I know a Kanthi person to come to Colombo and going back is like you need 2 days of rest after that. But for me, I don't see it as like a thing, but maybe my body is used to that. You can train your body and mind for any good thing. As you can train for the bad things also, you can train for the good things. I think I have trained my body to go through those things, and now my body, the threshold for all those things is quite high.
So
could be the reason.
Was this like the way you perceive self-care? Has it always been like this since your teenage, your bachelor's, and up until now?
Yeah, I think I am a person who always put the other person first, but no complaint, right? So even like when I was studying for bachelor's, I helped a lot of my colleagues who were sick or who had issues, but finally I have given a lot of time for them and for their sickness and all those things, but finally I also have worked a lot. Like somehow, I would say like whatever I do, as I said earlier, I enjoy. So it's a break for me. It's not a break, but I don't feel tired because of that, because I love what I do. But I always try to get good like sleep, like 5 to 6 hours. Now actually it has come to like 5 hours of sleep. I know it is not good enough, but I'm trying to improve it. Thankful to COVID, I can remember I had like 7 hours, 8 hours of sleep during COVID period. And other than that, always it been 5 to 6 hours of sleep. And sometimes I will get a like 2 to 3 minutes power nap during the daytime, which can refresh myself. Usually I'm a person who walk really fast, so you wouldn't see even with the work or without work, I am not like slow motion or anything. I really walk fast and work fast and talk fast. So it's been my nature. Yeah, so self-care, but I believe these 4 components of well-being, like physical life, psychological, social, and spiritual. Sometimes there will be a little bit of imbalance, but I'm trying my best to balance it, having enough food and whenever possible, have a good nap. And I am a person who's very social. I have a very good friend circle, very strong friendships with my colleagues for years and years, and I would do anything for my friends. Spiritually, yes, sometimes I am trying to dig into the deeper spiritual values, and I am always 100% do whatever like with my conscience. So I don't have to do anything else because my conscience is formed in a way that I wouldn't do anything. So if you are aware, I think Rushma is aware of this Kohlberg's moral development. I think I have come to the post conventional stage. I go by my own rules, which are always in favor of the universe, not any ethnicity or not any profession, nothing, but it is humanity. I believe my judgment of the world or the moral judgment always based on the universal principles, not based on psychological ethics or anything. It's beyond that, I would say. It's beyond that.
You mentioned that sometimes you have to come home and you might cook and clean the house, right? I don't think a lot of men think about that. It's the women who say, okay, now I have to go, that's my second shift. Now I have to work the whole day and then I go home, the second shift starts. Many women in Sri Lanka also have to go through that. It's just a lot of stress for them. What would you recommend for women who have to go through such work and then work at home, work at office? How can they balance their mental health, their stress? How do they find some moments of peace?
I think so. We all have our own like set of values and what is important for you, what is not important for you. If you think something is important for you, it's not like you have to do, you must do, you should do, right? It's a cognitive error, no? So if you do things which you have to do, you must do some. I don't think that mentality would help, but if you think it is important for you. So for me, going to Peradeniya, like taking that opportunity, my family said not to go because I got a lot of good opportunities in Colombo. But when I was weighing, my conscience said I would best fit with Peradeniya than somewhere a private university in Colombo. So I selected Peradeniya. It was my choice. If it is my choice, I have to commit. So I can't complain. So I have to commit again. So then my father is with me, and I always believe that I had been this amount of busy. I have never ever sent my daughter to school to buy food from canteen. Never ever. I always make something at home because I believe like this canteen foods once in a way. Now she eats from Keels and everywhere when she is the university, but she was schooling. I always believed that I can. It is not a convention that I should cook for the family. But I believe that I can do it. Let's encourage female who complain about having no money and food are expensive. I wouldn't complain that even with little money, you have to be smart enough to like decide what to cook and how to eat and all those things. So for a woman, I would say if you think something important for you, you have to decide whether it is important for you or not. If it is not important, it is not within your value system. If it is not something you are supposed to do, don't engage or don't like invest your time or anything on that. But if you think something is more like important for you, you need to balance your life and you can get rid of a lot of unnecessary things. Like there are so many other time wasters in the day, so you can push off certain unnecessary things back and bring the important things to front. Sometimes I don't look at like WhatsApp message and I don't reply then and there. I manage my time in a way like if I have a break in between, I will look into WhatsApp and all those things. But emails, of course, I have to see look at them and official emails. But otherwise, using social media or doing other things, I think I manage my time very well. Like this 4 quadrants, like urgent, important, yeah, important, not urgent, urgent, not important, and not urgent, not important. So I try to keep myself within the second quadrant, which is I would engage in things which are important but not urgent. So you don't feel pressure. So I know I am a person who plan things well in advance. If I want to cook for the morning, I will even peel the onions at night and put in the fridge. So in the morning, I know I can balance time. Therefore, I never get late to any place because I plan my time to the point that thing. I think knowing the right time management skills also would help a lot of people to like do a lot of things at the same time. That is, there's no actually magic. I would say there's no magic in me. I'm a normal human person. I don't have superpowers, right? I'm a very normal human being. But managing things and believing in yourself can help you, and having this good, as I said, like internal locus of control. You can try something. I have stopped trains by putting my hands. Nobody would think. Yeah, I have done it in my life. So I have done so many things. I would try that. One day I was at the Sarasavayoni station. The train was almost leaving. If I missed that train, there was no other train. That was a train strike or something. So the train was like after the big horn, the long horn, the train was slowly like starting. Then I was near the train line and just put the hand into the train front, and the driver asked why. I said, I want to get into the train. Then he stopped the train. He stopped the train and asked me to come all the way around and through the station. It didn't take a very long time because I was so fast and I ran and I got into the train. This has happened twice to me. So why not you try? So sometimes you pursue this might not work, but you can try. If it work, yes, good. If it is not, it's just wasting a word or trying something. So I believe that if I try, there is no waste. So you can always try things. So I try, and I have shortcuts of doing certain things. When even cooking, I have my own ways of doing it and speed up the things. And I don't waste time. I think that is the thing. Even when I am like answering a call with a friend or family, I never sit and answer the call. I will do some cleaning and those things, having my headset. So I am like very much attending to the call. I don't have to like give the cognitive attention to the household stuff now when I'm cleaning. So I do both at the same time. So I'm very good at cleaning while answering the calls. I do a better job when I'm answering a call. So that's how I manage time. So I would say a woman, like if you really want to do it, if there's a will, there's a way, right? But you don't have to exert yourself or let yourself to be a labor or a slave. It's your attitude. If there's a day that I feel like, no, I can't do anything, I will have a break. I will tell, no, I can't cook. Better eat from outside. There are days like that also.
Yeah, that's great. That is great advice actually for a lot of women, and a great point to end with. I think if there's one takeaway we can have in this conversation, Rishma, correct me if I'm wrong, is that you are a woman who tries. And you have the guts to go through with it. So that has been like the theme of your story throughout.
Impossible is nothing.
Yeah, because at least even if it's impossible, she tries. So,
but I never didn't have any like high expectations, like I need to have like be the first or the first class. So no, I am always a moderate like player. So I am not playing high, but I never was like harsh to myself to saying that I need to be the first, I need to get the highest marks, so I need to be the best. No, I always play moderate. So I think sometimes I go beyond the moderate level. I don't push myself. I never been harsh to myself saying that you have to do this and this. But yeah, you have to be kind to yourself, self-compassion. I make mistake. I sometimes fail. It's okay. I give a pat to myself. then again this thing. So I was never like not the best person, never.
It's nice. You never made that a necessity to be able to validate your achievement.
That's
You
true.
just like you validated your achievement through, okay, I'm just gonna try and see how it goes.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
nice. And so I think that's what we should, I
Yeah.
would say, even like entrepreneurs or leaders or women who would be listening onto this podcast, there you go, try.
Yes, it might, I mean, you might fail. There's a risk of that, but at least you've given a shot. And that's what matters in life, I think.
Yeah, be brave to do something different, and it's good if it is ethically and spiritually right. So why not try, right? So
True.
yeah, it has to be like in the framework, but yeah, you can try. So be creative. Yeah.
Thank you, Kanthi.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. It was a really insightful conversation, and there's always more questions, but we've come to the end of our
Yes.
conversation today.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you
Kanthi,
so
for your
much.
time. Thank you very, very
We
much.
learned a
Thank
lot.
you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Have a nice day.
You
Yeah.
too. Good night. Hi, I'm Rushma
Zara here.
again. So if you like what you watch on this channel, please follow us for more, because we are going to be bringing you a lot of stories from women in Sri Lanka who can inspire you, empower you, and motivate you. So to support us, please do.
Subscribe, like, and comment on our channel.
Thank you.
Thank you.